I'm not musical. Everybody thinks because I make harps I might be musical. I don't know anything about music. I can't read notes. All those squiggly lines and circles and dots don't make any sense to me. Ever since I was little, I always thought it would be really neat to do woodworking. I just never had opportunity. But when I was in the Army, they had a very nice, well-equipped wood shop on base that any of us could use in our spare time. There happened to be a guy in my company who had been a woodshop teacher, high school woodshop teacher. So I asked him if he would teach me. So he handed me a textbook on woodworking about that thick, and he said, "Read this." So I did. I read the whole book. He quizzed me on it, and he said, "All right, let's go." So he took me under his wing, and he taught me how to do woodworking. Well, we started with harps back in 1988 when my wife and I were at a restaurant. And they had a harpist playing there, and it was the first time either of us ever heard a harp. And we both sat there listening and said, "That music is so beautiful. Someday we'll have to get a harp for our children." But as we searched, we discovered that harps were very expensive, way more than I could afford because I was a Christian school teacher at the time. So we put the idea on hold for a while, and then the Lord brought our way a man who gave us a catalog of a company that sold kits, where you could buy a kit and buy all the pieces and put the harp together yourself. But even a kit was too much for us, about half the price of a finished harp. But it also said in the catalog, blueprints for serious woodworkers. So I thought, well, I guess I'm a pretty serious woodworker. I've enjoyed it a long time, and it's one of the things I was teaching at school. So we were able to afford the blueprints, and I went to work and just picked at it for about a half a year in my spare time, and brought home the first finished harp. When we first had some harps to sell, like after I got the first one done, right away I made about a half a dozen more. And we brought them to the homeschool convention in Harrisburg. And that was our first public exposure with our harps. And we had a tremendous response. At that time, that was before the internet, before cell phones. And just by word of mouth, we had orders keeping us busy. I was only doing it part-time because I was still teaching school. Since then, of course, now we have a website, and now we get orders from all over the world. And we ship the majority of our harps here, there, and everywhere. Just about any country you could name, we ship them to. But every harp maker comes up with his own designs, and you can kind of see his personality in it. And it's really fun designing a harp yourself. A lot of work, takes a lot of time, and usually the first one you make, there's problems with it, and you have to make another one to try to fix those problems, and then a third one often to fix those problems till you finally end up with something that you can keep producing. So it takes a while, but it's really a fun project to do. But when I brought that first harp home, and they just took off with it and started doing beautiful music, in a very short time we started getting requests to do programs at churches and different events. So we started going to do these programs where I would preach and the children would do the music. And we have 6 children, and all 6 of them are quite gifted musically. And so we did that for about 10 years, and we did hundreds and hundreds of programs all over the place. Just developed into a really neat business and ministry, and it was both of those. So much more than I ever expected. It was one of those times when God does exceeding abundantly above what we would ever ask or think. I was just hoping for a way to supplement our income, and it certainly did that, but way, way beyond, and gave us the blessing of a beautiful ministry for 10 years.